All of your money is probably in the same account or something, and you're thinking like, how am I going to get out of this situation? How are we going to survive? How are we going to live? How are we going to this? How are we going to that? And that will tend to hinder you. But in the same sense, while you're still waiting on that, this person is looking at you sideways every time you do something, or every time you put on something that they don't like. And it's just like, they're just waiting. And they already know in their head what they're going to do. So you can't base it on waiting. And I tell people this all the time. If you wait until you're rich, it might not ever happen. So you can't wait until you have enough money to get out of an abusive relationship, or until you can figure stuff out, because guess what? Your life can be taken, and it may never happen. You have to get out the first sign of abuse. And you know, most people think, oh, he loved me because he cussed me out, or he called me this or that. And I'm just telling you, hey, if you're married, just throw in the towel if you get called a bitch or whatever, or whatever. But it definitely needs to be, we're not going to do this, and if you do it again, I'm out. You have to set boundaries from the beginning. You know, people say you need to get to know the person that you're with. You can be with a person 5 years and never really know that person. I mean, you just can't put a time limit on when that person is really going to show you the real them. I do think that people show you who they are within the first 30 days. And sometimes we overlook it. But then you have those people that will put on a whole charade. And you are like, okay, where did you come from? This is not the person that I've been with, you know. But yeah, he or she has been that person all along. Those are narcissists, you know. You have those people that are never wrong. That's abuse too. And to me, that may be the worst form of abuse. If you guys have ever been in a relationship, oh my God, with a narcissist, it is the worst. It is a feeling that you're trapped. They make you feel sorry for them. They're never wrong. They will cry. I mean, they'll love you one minute, the next minute, you're every name in the book. But it's something about them, and it grabs a hold of your emotional being. And to where you like, if I leave, oh my God, what's going to happen? Because they act so injured, and you know, they're habitual liars. To me, that is the worst type of relationship and worst type of abuse that you can be in. And those type of relationships do take a while to just let go, because for some type of reason, for some way, they just latch onto your emotional being, and you get stuck. But that's also abuse. You know, to constantly lie to a person or constantly lead a person on, that's a form of abuse. It's not physical, but you've took everything from me. You've drained the life out of me with your lies and you know, just the emotional hold that a narcissist will put on you. So, you know, some people don't show you who they are for a long time. And I can still tell you that it may be in the back of your mind that, okay, this person may be a little crazy. But it may never dawn on you in a million years that this person can try and take your life. To the point of they physically hurt you. They physically hurt your children, the people around you. So we have to just start paying attention to the signs. And don't be afraid to say no. If it's something that you are not okay with, hey, you need to step up and say, I'm not cool with that. And if a person does not love and respect you enough to accept that, then you need to look at the person that you're with. Because in every relationship, there should be a understanding as to what you will accept and what you won't. And that's just being honest. If you can't be honest with the person, then, you know, that's not right either. So you just got to be mindful. Look at everything. If you're with a man or a woman and all they're doing is take, never willing to give. Even if you're not the type of woman, sometimes we're headstrong. And, a lot of women can more than likely make it on their own, or, you are the type of woman that wants to cook every meal, or you are the type of woman that wants to do all the groceries, get all the bills together. But there's not one woman on this earth can tell me that you don't want to feel appreciated, and you don't want the person that you with to make you feel special, or surprise me with dinner, surprise me with flowers, whatever it is. There's not one woman that can tell me that she does not want that in return, even if you are the glue that holds the relationship together. Because you get some of the women that are from the South, northern women, we do too. We're wired a little different. We are more so, we gotta get it by any means. To sometimes the southern woman is kind of like, the man will be the breadwinner and she'll keep the household together. But no one wants to be in the situation to you're the giver. You give, and that person just take. Because that's abuse. You're abusing the power, or not even just power, you're abusing my kindness. You're abusing what I'm doing for you. And that's when I say abuse comes in all shapes, forms. And I've been, I'm 42, I'll be 43. And not too long, but, I'll be 43. I can honestly say that because of my past of being abused, that opened doors for me to be in bad situations. That opened doors for me to want to feel like I need to be loved by the wrong person. Staying in situations to where if this person is just a little nice to me, or if this guy has money and he's going to do this and do that, then you put up with more crap that you shouldn't put up with. And from experience, I will say that came from me. I had my first child at 16. I married their dad. It's so long ago, it was right at 17 or 18. And we were together for a very long time. First boyfriend, first everything. And when the abuse came into play, I knew it wasn't right, but I became depressed at a very early age. And I didn't have that backbone to lean on. Like my father, he was absent for a very long time. So I didn't have him to tell me, okay, daughter, this is not right. Or either tell him, hey, you're not going to do this to my child. So it was kind of like, I had kids, I was young, his family was good to me, and I got caught up, and I allowed, him to abuse me for a very long time, and we're cool now. We got past that, but in the back of my mind, that was the beginning to me, after leaving that, being in another relationship for 7 years, to where he cheated constantly with the same woman. I mean, disrespect was just like at an all-time high. 6 years. You put up with it. Because in the back of your mind, I've dealt with this before. If I got through that, I can get through this. He's going to change. 2 years down the road, when they finally tell you they love you, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this person finally loves me, And then that opens up different doors for you to stay even longer, even though you're catching them up cheating. You're a whore. You're fat. You're this. You're that. Not coming home 2-3 days, and then you're sitting there and you're waiting. Oh, I'm going to put the stuff out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And as soon as that person gets home, it's just a little bitty argument. And you're glad that he or she is back. But in my case, he is back. And you put up with stuff like that. And that comes from 13 years of being physically, mentally abused. The first time I was abused, I couldn't believe it. I was young. I was super young. And, people think boys and girls fight, because we were both kids. So he may have been 19 or whatever. But you think, did he just put his hands on me? I mean, and we were around people, and nobody kind of reacted to it. And it was kind of like my male cousins and I'm like, dude, y'all finna let this dude do this to me? Growing up in my era, it was a different time. It was just a different time. I mean, nobody deserves it, but it was a different time. The fellas, they stuck together. The women, you did what he said. You know, it was just a different time. But at 16, and you're literally being made to stay in someone's house while they rip and run the street. And because I was depressed at such an early age, I didn't have the strength to say, I'm going home. I don't want nothing else to do with you. But it's so crazy because I want to say it was obsession. And, you know, the obsession was so strong because when I would leave and go home, he would come through the windows. My mom would say, you can't come here. He would come anyway. It was more like the caveman days. Like, you gonna come with me and it is what it is. But if my parents had have stepped up and said, man, if you don't get your up out of here, you know what I mean? It would have been totally different. But if you don't have that strong family bond and figure there to protect you, then it's kind of like, what am I going to do? And I mean, that was early days. And then, you know, it went on, and we had more kids. And next thing you know, we have 4 kids together. And, you know, the marriage is just a marriage because we had kids. And then we're young. We don't want to be together. You know, the thing that sticks with me in my mind was you can't wear those pants. You can't wear your hair like that. You can't. I'm a grown woman, and this person is telling me what I can't do because of their insecurities. And, you know, when you get in that next relationship, if you finally break through of that, and that guy lets you be a little free, you feel lucky. You feel like, oh my God, well. And the crazy part about it is, my grandmother, rest her soul, I went to her one time and I was telling her, I said, you know, I don't want to be with this person. I stayed there for like 2 days to try to run away from this person. And, you know, older women took a lot from their men. And when I talked to her and I told her, you know, what was going on, and she looked at me and she said, you know what, Taniska, she said, at least you know what he's capable of doing. You may leave him and get somebody that's going to actually kill you. And he hasn't killed you. And, you know, I kind of was like thinking she was going to be like, you know, she didn't put me out. She didn't tell me how to go. But those were the exact words that came out of her mouth. And I do believe, I have to say, that it was a part of why I went back after that time, because it kind of was like, okay, if my grandmother is saying this, then this got to be true. And then you start to think, man, what if I do get with somebody and then they're like 20 times worse or 30 times worse? And so I went back. But it was very scary times for me in both relationships, because I've only been in, well, I'll take that back. I've been married twice, but I've been in one serious relationship and now. But very scary times for me as a young woman, mentally depressed. I was in some very, very, very dark places in my life. And a lot of people, we talk about faith now with this corona stuff. If it wasn't for me having faith, a lot of things would have happened at that time. As far as I thought about suicide. I thought about, you know, doing something to him. A lot of things crossed my mind. And if I just didn't have faith, and I prayed a lot, this is something that I tell everybody that I come across, because I think it's just something about me, and people know, hey, I can talk to Char or whatever. A lot of women are insecure, and you can look at that woman in your mind, you're like, gosh, she's beautiful, she's so pretty, you know. But if you sit down and talk to her, the insecurities run deep. And one thing that